What's up, man? Haven't talked to you in a while. Haven't had anything to say. Two monks meet on the path. They smile and chuckle as they walk by one another. The dream state, when you've released yourself, you can look into the language of any group around you. You can instantly show respect to the ones who've come before, because you can see it in the vibrations of the ones who have it. And then equals who need to learn a new dance routine from one another, cross like Travis and Antoinette and Debbie and others they could name. 72 years of this silliness. You'd think I'd have learned something by now. Hang on a minute. So when you're speaking in tongues, what you're literally doing is you're going into their, not just language, but their soul, what they constructed for themselves from the lie, their surroundings, rather than the stillness and the knowing, the one without a name. You're just a poem. So then you wonder, how did you get such a gift? Because it was just time for it to come. And your next gift, it's time for it to come. Hang on a minute. It's not a Chunghwa, but American Spirit. They keep changing their colors. I think they like to fuck with the people from the 60s. This one, they call it turquoise now, but I know a lot about color, and they've changed their boxes and design colors and stuff. Yay to the marketing team, but to people like me, it's like you reach for the tomato sauce, and now there's Catholic candles for the dead who drive recklessly on the roads. You have to be a certain age. What a magnificent day. Even with the earthquake that just struck, and I think it was 7.6. We'll see what they report. The right sacred plants put you in that other person's paradigm and allows you to communicate to them. And it'll stop time. You'll know what's happening because you're watching it happen to them, with them. And you got to be a part of the light that lit a corner of an edge of the frame of a whisper of what that meant to them. And it just flowed right through you as you just clicked on that vibration and retuned it and gave that paradigm a new reference for a reality that had lived in its dreams as a human fighting for that identity that is the product of the paradigm they've been a slave to. It's worth what you paid for it, but I'll tell you what, when you haven't smoked weed, you haven't had a family to smoke it with. It's like, look, I did all the dumb things that everybody else did. Don't do that. It'll cost you later. But there's a Latin family, I think they're Salvador, over there. And right behind me, the guy's got a bigger sound system than me that Travis Yoga Papa graciously loaned to me, so I've had the cops here several times. Anyway, they don't want you to dance. They certainly don't want you to dance in the streets. Top of a tree, I get away with it, especially in the winds. But to get to walk in the journey with you, Travis. What a hoot. What a privilege, you know, and to be in this world without love, where you just want to say, look what he did in my life through the gifts I kept giving back to him. Yeah, you know, I pursued a lot of things when I was young. There's people that are still mad at me that I sold watches that they sold to me out of my knowledge of the reverence of the workmanship, you know, because we speak all kinds of languages. And Travis and I speak mechanical languages. He's a wood guy and I'm a metal guy, and it's in our charts. You can look it up. So, how do I say thank you to all those wonderful people that you've introduced me to in India, Travis? And the joy and the power of celebration and dance to the Creator. I mean, you can't use a word, because then it enters our paradigm, where angels fear to tread. Can't wait to see you in person, in corporeal state, as it were. Let's see it here. Let's see at 72 if I could do two things at once. Most people would think I would take a drag of the cigarette next, but no, I've got to be a slave to my media, so I'll get to the cigarette in a minute. I love this picture of me. That watch, stupid watch, there's only 3 of those in the world. I got one of them. Never wear it. Just keeps going up in value. Cheers to the real tobacco from the right strains of the tobacco plant. I wish we had more companies that had stuff like they have in China here, but they don't. Shout out to the guy with the Chunhua stuff. Travis can put a link in the description somewhere. I love how they point over here and it's actually over there. That's funny. But when you can sit there and watch a hummingbird clean itself. Oh, here's one of our birds. Ontario Airport's finest. Blessings over their flight. Safe journey and dreams for everybody on board. China doesn't take off for another hour and a half, our times, like right after midnight. So I always pray over that flight as it takes off. You know, for people flying out of LA and Ontario particularly, all the pilots, all the crews, all the machines, a safe journey, to get safely where you're going. Because life is precious and your poem is unique to your experience, you know. Anyway, I wax nostalgic. I think I could put it this way. You got to be in the garage when the first turbine was run at Indy. You know about the $6 bearing that went out. Cost Parnelli Jones the race, and did a riff between USAC and him that told him to stuff it, basically. You got to have dinner with the guy. Watch him get really mad in the garage. Because we were in the garage next to his. And then you go, wow, you know, you're around that kind of technology your whole life growing up. It's all obsolete now, but you look at a G40 and you just go, yeah. I don't know if I'd want to drive one. And me, that's saying a lot. So then you turn on YouTube or Instagram and you watch the technology guys. I can't even say it right. In India or Pakistan or Bangladesh or one of those places, Myanmar, where they've got a tractor jacked up on, chicken crates and stuff in the mud 2 feet deep, and they're welding an axle back in place. You go, oh, I thought I was a mechanic. Anyway, instant relief of the pain. And plant that there's so much silliness about. All of those people there made me want to be there. So, till we, talk in person. Say hi to Harry. Still think of him in that helmet out in the front yard by the pond, running around like a space guy, or I don't know. God, that was a funny image. See, and I get to hold it as long as now it's recorded, but I can't describe it to you. If you want to learn it, get a hummingbird fountain, something tall, water out to just the top, just enough for a hummingbird to sit there and take a bath. You figure out the dimensions. Mine weighs 350 pounds, so it takes a pretty big cat to even rattle it enough to stir the water. They've tried. But I've seen some of the most spectacular displays of them enjoying the water and the vibrations of the water and the cleansing, and with the sun coming in from different angles during the year. And just to watch that. I mean, I've shot video of it, but I haven't ever posted any of it because it's just, it's one of those I get to carry. I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna do it with the right equipment and stuff. I get a new phone tomorrow, state of the art Samsung latest shiny, like just 2015 shiny behind me. Yeah, it's quick. It's not like, quick, but grateful to have a car. And at the moment, fuel to have it. And lots of propane and butane here. Tanks of it. I understand you guys are running out of propane. You're welcome to drop by. How much time have we shot here? What, 13 minutes and a half? 13 something. You really want to tell people you've enjoyed the ride, the learning, the giftings of time. Because the more you release yourself into their stories, the less of you there is. Cats are a hoot. They fucked up their original job. They like to sleep and eat a lot, though. Kind of like Americans. Talk to you again soon, man. Gave 3 units of blood today. Never had a cold or the flu. I'm immune. So I'm tuckered, but I don't know if it was sodium, magnesium, potassium balance goofed up today, or the solar flares and the impacts of the magnetic stuff. It's been a wonderful day. And it's like whatever time it is here. But you look outside and you go, broad daylight in Beijing. late afternoon of tomorrow. You know, if the mercies, mercies are just, the only place that's fair is someone's construct of a hell. Self-built by the lie. But what a day, even though I'm exhausted. I'll do my routine in the morning and put back all of the things into the food that didn't come with it. And listen to these crickets all night. I had the fountain going until just a couple minutes ago. It's 20 to 11. But, man, what a wonderful day. Anyway, all those symbols. I particularly like this one, where they do the royalty likes that one. All right, man, I'm going to sign off. Got air in my bicycle tires, ready to face tomorrow. Plenty of propane. Now you shut this thing off. Probably right there.